Hi, everybody. Welcome back from regular spring break. Welcome to extended spring break, except not for us because we were online anyway. Welcome back. I hope that everyone is doing well in this wild, wild time. This has been a semester for the books, and I'm really apologetic that it's been maybe confusing or if you felt a little off kilter. But I also want to assure you guys that our class is rock steady, baby. We're here. We've been online since the beginning of the semester. So, just to address that really quickly, there may be some confusion about whether or not we're working this week because it's extended spring break. That applies to face-to-face classes. So you're right, none of your professors from face-to-face classes can assign you any work this week because technically they're on break. We, however, have an exception because we've been online since the beginning of the semester, which is really great, you guys, because our semester is not going to be pushed forward by a week. So if we didn't work this week, we would lose a week. So I'm really happy to say we're back, baby. Here we are, starting to work on Project 3A. I have a few things that I want to address in this video in terms of English 1020. But before I get to that, just wanted to say, as your English 1020 teacher, as a mom myself, I just want to make sure that everyone's taking care of themselves, that you're taking wise precautions, but not getting too anxious. In the announcement that I post today on our website, I'm going to post a few resources for you. One is the overarching Wayne State list of all the services that are still available because campus is technically open. So I know there's lots of folks who either are living on campus or still need some of the campus resources, and the full list of how everything is available to you will be posted in this week's announcement, along with a nice little article that I found on the BBC this morning, and it's just a quick note to think about if you're feeling high spikes of anxiety, or if you were already dealing with anxiety or other illnesses that might feel like they're kind of inflamed at this moment. Just a little article with some tips and tricks, or even if you just feel like, man, I didn't ever feel anxious before, but now I do. There's a great article with some steps that you can take just to pause and develop some mindfulness around the things that are going on campus and maybe even in your life. But just know that I am here for you guys. As your English 1020 instructor, my first priority is to help support you guys through the end of the semester in your writing and in my class. So don't hesitate to email me. Don't hesitate to Skype me or set up a Skype appointment. As you might imagine, all face-to-face office hours will be canceled for the rest of the semester, which is a real bummer because I was really enjoying hanging out with some of you who would come regularly to my office or even just stop by once in a while. Oh well, we can definitely chat online if that is available to you and if you like that option. Also, please note that your peer mentors will not be having face-to-face office hours either. So please make sure that you're emailing them with questions or contacting them on the GroupMe or WhatsApp chats that they have going for you. But keep using your resources. Okay, what else was I going to tell you guys in terms of housekeeping stuff? Oh yeah, grading. As you might imagine, I have been a little waterlogged with grading. My goal this week is to step it up and really get your homework graded and cranked back out to you guys and get, if not all of Project 2 graded, at least the majority of it graded this week. So please keep your eye out for those things. Again, thank you for your patience as I kind of add new things to my ever-rotating items that I'm juggling all of the time. Okay, I think that is it with housekeeping. I'm glancing over at my notes here. And now I'm going to switch us over to our Canvas view and talk you through our Week 11 activities, and then we'll just get right to it. Okay, so here we are, Week 11, back from spring break. We are jumping into Project 3A, which we began these 10 days ago. It feels like it's been way longer than it has been, right? We're working on integrating more sources into our academic researched argument. So you guys began doing some annotated bibliography work last week. 2 weeks ago. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. I need a TARDIS. Okay, we'll continue our research process and practice with concepts like the quote sandwich. So that may send off some bells in your head when I say quote sandwich, because I have been kind of talking about this for a couple of projects now, and you'll have noticed maybe at times I have put a comment in your paper that says, I need more lead in to this quote, or I need more lead out from this quote. This is what I'm talking about, is the quote sandwich. So some of you have heard about this before and some of you haven't. Either way, just take a gander at the quote sandwich mini lesson video. It kind of gives an overview or review, if you've already heard about this thing, just how to integrate quotes really seamlessly into your own writing, because you don't just want to plop a quote in there. It's kind of like just tossing a giant boulder like into the middle of your yard and there's nothing around it. It's just flat grass and then this giant boulder. So what you want to do is you want to put some really beautiful plants around that boulder. You want to lead into it by introducing this source and why it's there. And you want to put flowers around the other side to help it go smoothly into the grass on the other side. So make sure that you give some attention to your quote sandwiches, because for Project 3A, this researched argument, our goal is to really formally and academically integrate source material into our own argument. So we'll talk more about that in a minute. Little vid posted for this week is just one of my favorite Key and Peele sketches about how awesome it would be if we treated teachers like they were ESPN sports stars. So enjoy that. Hopefully it'll give you a little chuckle. In terms of what I would like you to read this week, just a couple of pages, a couple of excerpts from FIA, your textbook. What these are going to be kind of going over is the same stuff in the mini lesson, sort of like how to integrate sources, how to enter into that research conversation that you're reading about in your sources, how to enter into it in your own writing. And then, of course, the other reading is not anything that I'm formally assigning specific things to you, but you do need to be reading and researching and looking again and finding and maybe reading or rereading, if it's been a while since you looked at a source. Get to know your potential source articles for this paper. Now, in terms of what I'd like you to write, now we have one chat check-in this week, which is deceptively simple because you already wrote how you were going to turn your iSearch question into an argumentative claim, right? And here I'm asking you to write a revised claim. And some of you may rightly point out, like, isn't this a little redundant? Not exactly. If you'll look on the assignment, one of the things that we can do when we revise a claim is we can make it more precise to the argument that is shaping up as we're reading more about it. So follow me here for a minute. A couple of weeks ago, you may have drafted a claim, and perhaps now that you've done more reading into this discipline, into this field, this question, this issue, maybe now, if you looked back at it, your claim would look a little simplistic. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're a genius and your claim is fine. But either way, since you've gone through this research process, you've read a little bit more, you've learned a little bit more about what other scholars are saying about this issue that you're making an argument about. And so I'd like you to just take one pass at revising your claim to make it more precise to what you're actually finding. Okay, so we're not trying to shoehorn random sources to match with some kind of claim that we made up 2.5 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. You want to be responsive. If the things that you're reading have changed what you can claim or what you should claim or what you want to claim, this is the perfect time to revise that claim, that thesis statement for your research paper. Okay, so that's enough about that. Part 2 of your annotated bib is coming up. And one of the things that I wanted to say about your annotated bib, just make sure that it's working for you, okay? So a lot of examples that you might find online will just ask you for a citation and a summary of the piece. And that's fine. But one of the reasons why that I've also assigned some analysis and like a link back to your claim is because really, at the end of the day, annotated bibliographies aren't really good for anything in terms of your final paper. Like there's literally never a time when you're going to submit an article for publication and they ask for your annotated bib. No. An annotated bib is a process document. It's meant for you, the researcher, to keep track of your sources. And again, some of you haven't looked at this stuff for like almost 2 weeks now, and that's fine. But the more detailed and the more descriptive you can make your annotated bib entries, the easier it's going to be to go back and look at some of those older sources and remember how you were going to use them. Okay? So part 2 of your annotated bib means that you're going to find an additional 3 sources and do that process of the end text citation, summary, analysis, link. Okay, one more thing to talk about. Your DJ13 is a respond and reflect, which means you're going to take the readings that you've done, responding to them all together, even if they're, the sources that you're reading aren't necessarily about how to write a research paper, but think for a minute about how they could be connected and respond to that. Now, one thing to note, your reflection this week is a multimodal reflection. You have the option to do something visual or to write something like a letter to your future self or your past self. It's just meant to kind of shake things up. We've been doing these respond and reflects all semester long. And I'm hoping that by opening up the options to have you guys plug into different genres and modalities, it will help you access that metacognition that reflection is intended to access in a not just easier way, but a fun way. So have fun with your DJ13 this week. Okay, so having given all those explanations, just kind of looking over our calendar, definitely want to try to watch your Week 11 video, which you're already doing. High five, good job. Get some of that reading out of the way, do your chat check-in, revise your claim. By Friday, you definitely want to have at least watched the quote sandwich mini lesson, looked at some potential source articles, and you need to do that anyways if you're going to do part 2 of your annotated bib. By Sunday, you can go ahead and watch the little vid, review any potential source articles or keep working on them, and do your respond and reflect because you'll have done all your readings at that point, and you can look back and kind of think about how this project is going so far in your reflection. Okay, I think that's all I've got for you in terms of our Canvas page. I'm going to pull it back out to the full view and close out this video. Okay, so we're just jumping right back into things. Hopefully you guys are feeling at ease, at least with our course and the materials that we've been working on throughout the semester. What you'll notice is that till the end of the semester, we're just going to continue working the way that we have been working, which is super convenient because we've been online this whole semester. If you have any questions about any of the assignments, please don't hesitate to email me. Also, hit up your peer mentors on whatever chats that they have available or shoot them an email as well. I will be Definitely making more videos throughout, like I'll do my weekly videos. I'll keep you posted as needed about any other developments in terms of campus life. It looks like we probably will be canceling the writing showcase, but I will double check on that and make sure that we have the points and the assignment for that sorted out so that we can move on smoothly in terms of that event. Other than that, just be well and take a deep breath and keep calm and keep writing. All right, everybody, I'll see you next week for my instructor video, and I will talk to you via email or Skype in the meantime. Bye, everyone.